Well, let's call this meeting to order and start with our flag salute. If you would follow me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Item number 3, consideration possible action on approving the fiscal year 15-16 financial statement and fiscal 16-17 estimate of needs.
Commissioners, if I may, just to clarify the other officers being here, at the very last minute, in fact within the last 10 days or so, the auditor's office has changed the cover sheet and has requested that all county officers sign it. The board will take the action and sign it, and that's typically in a non-budget board the way it's always worked. Now they want all the officers, because apparently they've received some complaints from other county officers in other counties that said, you know, we're not part of the budget, they leave us out, they don't talk to us. So that's never been the case here, but they've changed, and that's why we asked you to be here. Now, Sherry emailed me this morning. She already had another appointment scheduled, so I'll run it to her for those that aren't here. But that's the reason for the change from what has normally been.
I think some would argue in this county we might talk about our budget too much.
I found that really interesting to hear that that was the reason for the change, that some didn't feel they were included. So that's why I sent out and asked everyone to be here that could. We have 3 copies. I have flags, and this is the publication sheet. Also, it came out that all officers should sign the publication sheet. However, they didn't change to add in where for everybody other than the board, so I've typed those lines in for everyone else.
I've got a question.
Sure.
On the direction from the state auditor and inspector, can I get a copy of their directive?
For this cover sheet?
For the action to change the cover sheet?
Sure. Mine, I'll be honest with you, mine came as a forward from the Clerks Association, and then there was a sheet when the books were delivered included.
I just wanted to see the official guidance from the state auditor's office requiring the implementation and their basis for that.
I don't think the basis is included. I'll send you what I have.
Well, that's why I would like to do that. Thank you.
Do you want us to sign them now?
Once they do what they're going to do, then we'll catch everyone and.
So Tish, you can run your whole office for the whole year for $27,000? That's what it says.
What?
I'm kidding.
Don't need two more.
Troy, when were these completed?
They were delivered to me on Monday.
Okay.
I believe it was Monday or Tuesday.
Anybody else got to see this finished product? I take that as a no. So insurance went to over $1 million this year.
That would be all the accounts together
Right.
that fall within that category,
Yeah,
not just the health insurance. That should include the,
$1,487,000.
Yeah. That's for workman's comp,
That's for all of it.
unemployment, retirement.
Now, workman's comp go up or down? Because they were saying it.
How many
went
total
down.
employees do we have again?
How that's accurate.
I don't remember off the top of my head to answer that question. Marvin, your question, we're averaging about 150. It really will fluctuate month to month.
150 employees?
Mhm.
That's pretty easy to do the math.
Yesterday, if y'all don't mind me talking, at our CED meeting, we was talking about health insurance and what have you, and it appeared to me that some of them counties go with Opers, or however you wanna say it, then they go with Blue Cross Blue Shield a year, then they'll come back in, and I didn't think that was an option. I thought once you're in, or you're out, you're out.
I've heard the same thing from some of those other folks.
They bounce in and out of the state, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, I know some counties don't participate with the state. Some have kind of joined together. The majority are with the state. I know if we choose to opt out of the state, we have to take our retirees with us. So the bouncing in and out, I think, would be a real nightmare if you're bouncing the retirees in and out. Because you have to, they cannot stay with the state if the county leaves.
I tried to bring that up, but I didn't do a very good job at explaining myself, so.
Well, some of them fellows, you could talk for a long, long time and not get yourself explained to them.
But Oklahoma County, they went to a self-insured pool.
They have been for a very long time.
Said they saved over $1 million last year. But then I asked him, I said, how many employees does Oklahoma County have? He said, well, we got 1,800.
Yeah, not a
Yeah.
fair
Yeah,
comparison.
They go to South Bend, big time.
One of
They
the
pay more,
things,
too.
Along that line, just to bring up, that we'll be hitting, with the option period meetings, which I hope to have scheduled very soon. Health Choice, and if you will remember when, and I don't remember his name, Marvin, you might be able to help me here, the gentleman from the surgical center that came and spoke about the cash pay programs
Right.
and such.
Yeah.
And he had brought a rep from Health Choice that said that they were trying to get included in that. Health Choice has in fact now done that.
Uh-oh.
And those members with Health Choice that need surgical services will be able to use, there's several, I think, in the plan for certain surgeries at no out-of-pocket expense. They won't have to meet their deductibles, they won't have to do anything for a same-day service.
Right.
Wow.
And they're up to, I want to say 500 procedures that will fall under that with the Health Choice plan.
That's wonderful.
And so I thought that was a real good step forward for Health Choice members with out-of-pocket expense for some of these outpatient type procedures.
I seen him on the news the other day, but I can't remember his name.
I cannot think of the gentleman's name. But you know, they had touched on, they were trying to work something along, and it is in place. So that is a big benefit for those that take Health Choice. The only thing it is, it has to be a one-day service. If you go in for labs and x-rays and MRIs the day before, that's gonna fall under deductible and that kind of thing. But the day of the procedure, the anesthesia, all of that, as long as it's in that one day, will be a no cost for those procedures.
That's really cool.
Y'all got any questions on this?
I'm not sure. Just got it.
I'd make the motion, and with this being said, that the numbers that we presented them is accurate in what we all sitting here and decided. I mean, I certainly don't remember them all, but
I'd ask for 2 days consideration to read and review this. This is the first I've seen this.
can we recess? Is there a timeline on this?
We've already passed it a month ago. So we're
I
already a
can't-
month late.
I
So
can't make
another
the
2 days won't make any
publication.
difference.
I can't make publication, which plays into when the excise board can meet. However, I'm still waiting for Crescent EMS and Crescent school budgets as well, so.
I'd like a couple of days to look at it before.
Not
we
gonna
decide.
delay
I
any
mean,
more than.
I don't have a problem with signing the budget, but I'd like to know what I'm signing before I do it in some detail. It took over 2 months to put that together. I'd like at least 2 days to read it.
We can take no action today and I can put it on for Friday. If that's,
Yeah,
because
that would be fine.
I have not posted the agenda for Friday.
That would be great with me. I mean, I'd like to at least have a couple days to look at it.
Let's do that.
So did I make a motion and you seconded?
Well, it can go down as a no action
Or however we need to do it.
and I can put it on for Friday.
No action, put on for Friday.
Thanks for your
All right.
consideration. Thanks for the consideration.
Yeah. I don't see any problem with it.
If I may ask, Marvin, do you want to take that and then just bring it back?
Yeah, I can.
These are the only copies I have.
Do you have electronic copies?
I have not received an electronic copy.
Really?
This is
When
what I
when
got.
would we expect to get one of those?
I can email and see how fast I can get response to that.
I mean, gosh, we had one several weeks before we had our budget meeting last year.
Like I said, I can ask for it. I just, this is what I have for right
Okay,
now.
I guess I'm kind of confused. What was our deliverable to the contractor? What was he supposed to deliver to us?
These books, I mean, I guess I'm not understanding what you're asking.
So, I mean, if our deliverables did not include an electronic version of that, which I assume it would, because isn't that how it's transmitted electronically, or I would assume we'd want an electronic version of it as a deliverable, is kind of where I was going. And
We've never routinely got it simply because the way it is electronically, and you've seen it can be difficult to read.
well, it's not difficult to read if you've got it, but I haven't.
But I will get an email to Jerry and ask him to send it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
All right. So on item number 4, consideration possible action on approving contract with Atlas Paving Company in the amount of $57,470 for paving Sherwood Lane.
This is over in our part of the world. We've already picked the contractor. What was that, back on the 1st? Yeah. And now we need to approve the contract, I guess.
And to be honest, Atlas got me the contract back here, and I completely missed putting it on the last agenda, so that's why I added it on to this one so we could get it moved. The contract is set up just for the chairman's signature, but if y'all want to take a look at it and then pass it back down, it's the same contract form we've used for the other projects.
Thanks, Courtney. Switch out there. Hurt yourself.
We're not going to be able to sign anything till.
good?
Yeah.
But y'all can still hang around.
That's all right. I got things to
Thanks.
do.
Heck it.
I'm gonna hang around a minute.
Okay, get you out of the office, huh?
Yes, and just, it's gonna be one of them days.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's,
Good with it?
yeah.
I'll move where.
They got the money. We got the money to pay for it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll second. Okay.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
I'll just.
Yep.
Wasn't paying attention. Any citizens desiring to be heard?
The motion passes. I didn't hear any
Comments, announcements by the board? I got one.
Go ahead. I got one after yours.
Had a phone call yesterday that maybe the 4-H Foundation is considering maybe dropping the grant project at the fairgrounds. Don't know it to be right or wrong, but just heads up.
The grant project being the.
Training facility.
I don't they have a whole lot of money in that already?
I would assume someone's gonna be liable to pay that back.
So while we're just talking, gosh, how does one proceed with construction without funds to pay for it?
I think they've received the funds. But
So you can't jerk the rug out from under somebody like that.
that's what I think too. But, and this is just. a
I thought
phone call.
they had that approved. I thought that was all approved.
It's a done deal. I mean, the grant being
Yeah.
processed was a done deal.
This
So
is just-
There's a lot of work
the
already
fair board
done.
in good faith have started executing contracts based on that,
The
right?
4-H
The contracting has
Foundation.
been done by the 4-H.
Yeah, okay, so yes, so the 4-H Foundation.
They signed a lease with
Still,
us.
in good faith, started executing that contract based on that grant being given to them, right?
We signed a lease with the 4-H Foundation
Right.
for that building, because the
Right.
building is supposed to belong to us.
Right.
Right.
So I think, I'm gonna pull the documents that have all been done and,
Is
Kind
it
of
too
look
late
at
to
that.
get that on Friday's agenda to officially discuss that? Or do we need more time to pull?
I would
information, or-
suggest get some firmer information.
This is just a phone call that,
Right.
that he got a phone call that this might happen.
Well,
So he was going to check into it. I just wanted y'all to know about my phone call.
I
that's a little
would,
sketchy.
if I
Sounds to
may
me.
recommend to the board, maybe we gather some information, we can have a special meeting if necessary for a follow-up.
It just didn't sound right to me.
No, it doesn't sound,
I mean, I can get it on the agenda for Friday if you think you'd have enough.
Info by then.
And I don't know that they're going to do it. He just had a phone call saying that they was thinking about it. And I said, well, I don't think they can. I think they're in too deep.
well, I think they can think about it, but I don't think they can do it.
Yeah. Good
I think
point.
since apparently the talk is out there, it would be wise to hammer down
Yeah.
exactly.
Alright. Okay, I got a couple of things. Was that
That's it. Yeah.
Troy, there's a couple of legalese lawsuit. I got served for the county as county commissioners. That's what one of our main duties is, to sue and be sued, right? So it appears to me that both of them are properties that have gone into receivership.
Okay.
And you know how that always works out. If they owe back taxes, then we've got a lien on it, and the bank sues us to.
I should have been served with that.
I understand, that's why they're here and to give to you. That's why I wanted to make sure that you got copies of them, because sometimes.
Yeah, and if I
and
can
this
clarify,
one guy was shaking, he was really scared about coming in and bringing papers in.
and I don't know why, like I said, service for this board or on behalf of the board usually always comes to me, so
Right.
I don't understand. A new server is what I would assume. But just to clarify and explain, when a property goes into foreclosure, because the county has a financial investment based on property taxes,
Right.
we get served. And or typically the board does, I receive the service, Sherry gets served as treasurer.
Sometimes, yeah, the treasurer gets named.
Right,
Yeah.
and we just send it to the DA's office, they have a form that Sherry has to provide how much taxes is due, and that's really our only involvement in these foreclosure cases. We get a bazillion of them a year.
Bazillion, that's a
Well-
lot.
There is a lot sometimes.
Okay, and then item 2. Let's talk about bulk fuel for a minute.
Yes, sir.
I ordered fuel yesterday, and we got fuel. But what I was told was probably not correct in the way that it's priced. And I said, what's it cost today? And I was told, we don't know until we call the vendor and tell them how much we want to order.
That's true.
That's true.
Goes by day.
We have to phone quote for fuel at the point of purchase.
Well, I understand that, but it sounded to me like there was a vendor already picked, and that's why I'm saying I
No.
probably didn't get all of that. And we had to call that vendor to ask them how much they were going to charge us to deliver 1,000 gallons.
Okay, so this is the way it works. We have a form. We have the vendors. I think we're using 6 now.
Right.
When we receive a requisition requesting fuel,
Right.
at that point, we make phone calls to each one of those vendors that we are calling to quote 1,000 gallons of diesel delivered to whichever district.
Sure.
We call all 6 of them, we get their quotes in. Low man gets the bid. The problem that we can run into with fuel quotes is the time of day, because the prices fluctuate to the suppliers regularly. We may get one quote at 8 and one quote at 2. Most of them do not like to quote fuel after 12 o'clock noon for that same day. They want to go to the next day.
Sounds
But-
like the stock market, commodities trading.
But that is
Yeah.
exactly the process for buying fuel, is it's quoted upon receipt of the requisition. And one of the other thing is when they can deliver, because sometimes that can sway in the need to pay a few
Okay,
cents more.
But it's not a single vendor?
No,
that-
sir.
Okay, that, I feel better now about that. Okay, so, any other questions about bulk fuel?
We were wrote up for having several hundred gallons too much fuel in our tanks, so we got our, yeah, really, I mean, but it's a write-up, it's a discrepancy. And so we did quite a bit of inquiry on that, and the number of gallons is based at 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So if it's colder, it'd be more condensed, if it's warmer, it's more. But we had all of our gauges checked and we're just dead on. And so the only other thing that I can think of for that much difference in fuel is the unmetered trucks. And they may be giving us a little too much, which I believe is what occurred this time, because what we ordered should have fit in that tank.
We don't get a ticket on how much was delivered?
You should, it's
Yeah.
left at the tank. What has happened, and I just heard about this yesterday, was that one of the vendors that received the bid delivered fuel and does not have a meter on the truck. Just, I guess it's metered at location and brought out, and they brought out, I don't know the gallons that was ordered, I'm sorry. Let's say 1,000 gallons, the tank should have held 1,000 gallons, and the truck showed up with what appeared to be 1,200 gallons, so the tank wouldn't hold it all. So now he's sitting there with 200 gallons, and I guess the truck says, well, no, we were right, you're the ones that are wrong. You had more fuel than you thought or something. I know Laura's made some calls. The extra fuel was sent from District 2 to District 3. Apparently, most of the vendors that we use, this, like I said, I did not know this, have a meter on their truck tank at delivery. And she said specifically she spoke with Earnhardt, who prints a ticket from his meter on the truck on-site delivery. So, if this is going to be an issue, and I wasn't aware, we're not out there when it's delivered.
Right.
I personally, purchasing it, suggest we don't use a vendor who can't meter it at delivery.
I would second that if it was a motion.
And I had one other little item here this last month when we ordered, and I believe it was Earnhardt, but the invoice that was there, we had ordered gasoline, and on the invoice it said diesel. It was a clerical mistake. And what I'm wondering is if their cleric over there isn't having some issues. So We did get it straightened out, and it wasn't diesel, it was gasoline.
Maybe their clerk is a clerk.
Well,
Well, but if I make a PO now to pay for that 200 gallons that was brought from 2 to 3, I'll be wrote up invoice before PO. So if I
There's
just,
not gonna be a fix, and the unfortunate problem, any way we go to fix that is going to be technically non-compliant, but as we've seen, sometimes that happens and we just have to explain it.
so would I be better off to transfer the money to District 2 or write a PO? Let District 2 pay for the fuel? I'm not trying to break the law, I'm just trying to keep from getting rode up for something I couldn't prevent.
My personal opinion, and I understand you don't want the write-up,
Just take the knock and go on.
I don't think technically if you explain well what happened, it would count as a big write-up, because we, you know what I'm saying? If
did.
it wasn't flagrantly done,
You didn't intentionally do
exactly.
something outside that you knew was outside of
Exactly.
the rules.
I think we, you know,
It wasn't, yeah,
I'll just put an explanation on the
it
PO.
wasn't malicious.
exactly. I think that's really the best process. And like I said, I think that we will drop that vendor from consideration until they meter their delivery tanks.
If they can't meter when they pump it off, they shouldn't even bring it.
that's right.
Those are the two items I had. Thank you.
I got a deal for number 7 when you get to
And
it.
then, 7,
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.